Hi, welcome to another episode of the Pepino Clemenza comedy host. I'm your host, motherfucking Pepino. We got a great show today for you. We're going to be sharing drunk stories, as you know I love to do. So we got two lovely guests here today. My good friend, fellow comic, Brendan Jones. You all know him as BJ.
Yep.
And we have a comic I never met before, but hopefully he'll be funny, Mr. Jesse Townsend. How you doing, Jesse?
I'm good. How are you?
So, I'm going to start with you. Jesse, what got you into comedy? What was that moment?
I don't really know like what the moment was, but I was just like sitting in class at college, and I was like, I'm not this guy. And then my writing teacher kind of gave us an essay. Like the first essay I even had in college was if you had no obligations, you had like money wasn't an issue, what would you do? I wrote stand-up comedy, and then I was like, wait a second, I have no responsibilities right now. Why am I not doing stand-up? So I just dropped out, moved to New York, and started doing stand-up comedy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Brave soul.
And you, Brendan, what got you into comedy?
The first set I ever did was like 15 years ago. I did a set with Pete DiLorenzo. Of course, Pete DiLorenzo actually is a pretty well-known comic back in the 80s. He's not, he's still doing stuff, but not so much anymore. But he paid me $40, and I bombed. I really didn't know anything about comedy. I just went up there with my personality and just thought I can do that. I realized how much work I put into it. Like past 4 years, I've been taking classes, really working on my writing, really working on my personality, if that's possible, and try to just do it. But I was an accountant for so many years, and I realized as much as I like accounting, I love making people laugh. If you can make people laugh, you just make people feel better. So 5 minutes into a conversation with someone, I make somebody laugh.
Nice, nice. So, let's get started. Let's start with you, Jesse. Tell us a drunk story, preferably very embarrassing.
Very embarrassing drunk story? All right, I don't know. I have a couple of drunk stories, but I'm probably not going to be as good as him. He's got a little bit more years of experience on me.
You're doing age jokes now. Fine, young man. Go ahead, go for it.
Oh man, I don't know. I grew up in Baltimore, Maryland area.
Sorry to hear that.
And yeah, I know. But whenever people graduate high school, they always go to the beach for like a whole week, and we call it senior week. Mm-hmm. And it's just like this whole week of just getting like shit-faced drunk and just staying at the beach for a whole entire week. And since it's the senior year of high school, a lot of us like haven't had the tolerance so it's really just like an unsupervised high school trip, just getting shit-faced drunk for a whole week. And we got down there a couple days late because we had like graduation parties and stuff that we were going to. So we showed up late and we started playing like the catch-up game, which you can't do if you're trying to catch up 2 days into a whole week of drinking, So we're just downing alcohol this whole time, and then we're playing beer pong, and I remember, like, we win by like almost all of the cups. Like he only had one cup sank the whole game, and you know how there's like that chance at the end of beer pong to come back, but you have to sink every cup in a row. I was like, if you sink every cup in a row, I will chug that bottle of Jaeger.
Oh, Jaeger.
Yeah, yeah.
I love Jaeger, but it's not something you chug.
It's not something you chug, yeah. No. Especially not a bottle of, And he sank every shot in a row, and I was just like, oh, shit. Cause like I couldn't back down now, cause like the whole party heard me.
Yeah, no.
And every time he sang a shot, everyone was like, "Oh!" Cause it was like one step closer to seeing me die,
Yeah,
and everyone was like, "Yes!" And so I'm swinging it, and then like we get like almost all the way down, and I put the bottle down, and we're down at the beach, and we're in like these condos almost. So I run out onto the balcony, and I just projectile vomit straight off the balcony into
So the
this.
seagulls ate well that day.
Well, it was like over top of the hotel condominium parking lot. Just right into this convertible. Puked all in it. And they had the top down too, because it was the. Oh, man. So.
That's like the scene from Caddyshack.
Yeah. So if whoever's watching this, I'm sorry I puked in your car.
Brendan.
All right. I do have a lot of drunken stories because I am not as young as Mr. Jesse T there. Yeah, so, all right, let's talk about one of my favorite drunk stories. I'm 18 years old, and I'm a freshman in high school, and I went to a fraternity party that my
This is the 80s, by the way. Okay, keep on going.
1985, yeah, whatever. So I went to a fraternity party, and it was really, and we were drinking down this whole big 40 gallons of grain alcohol mixed in. So, like, we're just down and stuff, playing quarters, playing all these different games, just drinking like a fish, man. And all of a sudden, I see this one girl, actually much older than me, and she's hanging out, having a good time in the next room. And I'm like, I like approaching women that are fun and happy, not like standoffish, like too cool for school. So, she was what I call a blocker. She looked good from a block away. When I got up close, she just had pockmarked zits. It just was ugly. And then I got to know her, and she's just kind of just ugly. She's just really rancid and just, yeah, she's just, like, I like to think every woman is beautiful in some kind of way, but she was on the ugly tree, fell off the ugly tree, and hit every branch on the way down. Just, like, totally ugly. And all my buddies like, dude, you're not going to hook up with that girl. Like, dude, she's a beast. I'm like, dude, I'm not. Like, I mean, beer goggles. Now I have grain alcohol goggles, and I can still tell the ugly with grain alcohol goggles.
Imagine how ugly she would have been when you were sober.
You know you're drunk, and this girl is like, oh, it's bad. So all of a sudden, I go upstairs to go to the bathroom. All of a sudden, she follows me.
Yeah, she wanted that dick.
And so up to the bathroom.
She knew she was ugly.
And all of a sudden, I'm like, hey, Sue, how you doing? Oh, yeah, okay. I'm trying to get by her.
Her name was Sue?
Her name was
That's
Sue.
an ugly name, too. Sue is not an attractive name.
It's true. It's
Sorry,
true.
ladies named Sue.
Sue. Like, boy named Sue, ugly Sue. You're like, she pinned me up against the wall. And all of a sudden, we started making out, and she smelled like Marlboro Reds. And I'm like, oh, she's just a trash bag. And then I'm like, it's New Year's Eve.
Sounds like my future wife.
It's a New Year's Eve. I'm young. I'm like, fuck it, let's go. And we went into a room, and I don't remember what happened after that. Don't remember what happened after that.
You don't want to remember.
Yeah. So I woke up on the top bunk, and I calmed down off the top bunk. First off, before I even do that, like, I had that case of coyote ugly. So I'm like trying to slit my arm not to wake her up. And then all of a sudden I climb down the bunk, and all of a sudden I see her younger brother was a fraternity member. He's sitting there eating donuts as I climb up his sister half naked. I'm like, oh, great, this is fun. I'm like, is this guy going to beat the shit out of me? He's like,
He's probably just glad his ugly sister got
like
laid.
26. He was like 22, a senior, and I'm like a little freshman shit. So all of a sudden, I'm like, well, this guy's going to pound me because I just banged the sister. He's like, so, how you doing? I'm like, okay. He goes, you want a donut? I'm like, okay. I had a Boston cream donut. All of a sudden, I'm like, I got to go to the bathroom.
I love how he remembers what kind of donut he had, but not the sex.
Well, it's Boston. Who doesn't? I probably remember every Boston cream donut I've had. I'm not even a donut person. I love Boston cream. It's the only donut I'll eat. And I rarely eat donuts. I eat them like once a year.
So all of a a sudden, I go to the bathroom, I'm like, oh, headache's pounding, everything. I just feel like just refried shit. And all of a sudden, I come back, and she's coming too. She's like, where'd he go? And the brother goes, oh, here he is. He came back for more. Boom, I run to the toilet, just start puking for 7 hours straight. I miss all the bowl games, missed the Fiesta Bowl, missed the Rose Bowl, missed all the bowl games.
What do you mean 7 hours straight?
I was just puking up a storm. My friends just like picked me up, dropped me off at my doorstep, and just like let me go on my way. I just crawled upstairs, and just stayed in bed all day. It was just a horrible, horrible night. You know, obviously, it was horrible sex. I don't remember what happened.
You should hit her up.
No, I find out like that a couple months later. I wind up seeing her at a party, and she's like, "Hi." I'm like, so that's one drunk story. Yeah.
College students could be so mean.
It's funny. I mean, Jesse, you're pretty young. You're much younger than I am. But I was telling like I started drinking at like 14 years old, 13 or 14 years old, and
That's what people did in the 80s.
yeah, it's what we did. And then like I don't drink anymore. I mean, I'm Irish and Italian, so they say that's the best mix. Yeah, instant asshole and alcohol. That's the mix. Yeah, so you don't want me. Like most comedy clubs, is a 2-drink minimum. There's a 2-drink maximum for me. 3 drinks, I just turn into an ultimate asshole. So, but what about yourself? Tell me your drunk story.
Let's hear a drunk
I am, but before I do that, I wanted to mention about the ugly chick. Ugly chicks give the best head and they're the best sex. Don't always have at least one ugly chick in your phone. Especially when you get older. When you're younger, you don't want to do the ugly chick thing. When you get older, have an ugly chick on your phone.
As an ugly person, I will say
they give the best blowjobs.
I will come out and defend the ugly people.
You
as
give
the
great
resident
blowjobs?
ugly person here. Yes, I do. But no, ugly people aren't that bad. We make the world go around. If everyone was hot, come on.
Yeah.
So this one time, since you're in the college situation, this one time, well, this wasn't college, but my friend's family, they're on vacation and they have a beautiful house. And me and my friend, we get 2 girls and we bring them over to his aunt's house, and I just get fucking wasted. I don't even remember what I drank. I think I drank Malibu. Malibu rum. And I think I drank it with vodka. So I was just mixing bad shit together. And I don't remember much, but I remember chasing my friend's girlfriend. He also brought another girl with him for me, but I didn't even get a chance to. So I ended up chasing my friend's girlfriend around the table, trying to grab her tits. She enjoyed it. She always called me her bestie, which was weird. But last thing I remember is I wake up in the middle of the night, and I'm outside in like the terrace, shivering. And I'm just going, why did I wake up outside in the terrace? And I'm just shivering, and I end up throwing up in the terrace. I go inside, I finally warm up in the couch. The next morning, we're all fucked up. The one girl, I think, disappeared. The 2 girls disappeared, and me and my friend are in the car. A week later we heard one of the girls, the one I was supposed to sleep with, she was in the bed alone. She ended up being on her period, I think, or she got some cum stains on the bed. So they found out like 2-3 weeks later that my friend's family came back home and realized, why does this place look fucked up? We cleaned up everything we could clean up, but we missed, and I think it was their child's bed she was sleeping in. I think the child was like 10 years old, and I think there was either cum stains or period blood on the bed.
There's a big difference between cum stains and period blood.
That was a long time ago. I don't remember the details.
Good.
So that was my friend got in big trouble for that.
Yeah.
They didn't talk for like a year or two after that. My friend and
Surprised you
his.
didn't get in big trouble for that. You were like,
Yeah, it wasn't
I was
my house.
chasing her around and then they disappeared.
It wasn't my house.
I don't
Wasn't
remember the other details.
wasn't my house. Wasn't my family. I have another tongue story, but let's keep this going around. I'll pass the torch. Jesse, you ready for your next one?
Sure. Yeah, I was actually just recently at a party down in Brooklyn, and everyone's going to the backyard area. Yeah, backyard. I got some rich friends. What up? Yeah, but they were all going to the backyard to shotgun beers, and none of them knew how to shotgun beers. And I was like, oh my God, this is pathetic. From a can.
Can.
Yeah.
You gotta have the knife, man.
You gotta have like a key. That's what I always use. Just key, stab.
Yeah.
I was like, how do you guys not know how to shotgun a beer? And so like the white trash in me came out. I was like, all right, guys, step back. Take out my keys, stab it, pop it open, and chug it. And then they're like, okay, can you slow that down for us? And I was like, was that not simple enough? Like, what the hell?
All you do is
like, just
put a hole in
drink
the beer and you suck it out.
I was like, if you,
I like to squeeze it out, but I'm a pussy.
I was like, if you don't know how to shotgun a beer, just sip it like the bitch you are, okay? that's ridiculous.
Can you explain the part of Maryland you're from? Is it like the wire, or is it just white trash, or a little bit in the middle?
It's a nice mix, nice healthy mix of white trash and the
I'm
wire.
guessing you guys, how old are you anyway?
I'm 20.
Oh, you that fucking young? I was about to
Yeah.
say, like, I'm 32, and I know you're in your 40s, right?
That's right, 45.
45, so there's a nice, okay, actually, okay, I was gonna do some math there, but forget what I was about to say.
I'm the accountant, so it's like, I'm like 13 between you, yours 12 between him.
I'm closer to him than I am to you.
Only by a year, though. So you're like almost right dab in the middle between
Yeah, it kind of is in the middle.
It's
Huh?
always weird when comedians point out how young I actually am, because like one time someone.
I would have guessed 24, 26. That's funny.
Okay,
Well,
yeah.
at your age, you don't care, but
But
you don't want
someone-
people saying you're older than you really are.
Yeah, but someone in the green room was like, "You're only 20?" And he looked over to like another comedian like on the other side of me. He was like, "Wow, you could be his dad," and like it changed the whole dynamic of the conversation.
Oh, you're an adult.
Because we
Well,
were just
actually, you're
talking
nice.
about like movies and like sports and stuff, and then after that we were just like, "Okay, yeah, sure, we can just hang out some other time." Like it just got weird. It was like I didn't realize there was that big of an age difference.
Yeah,
And it's
I mean,
just-
I look a lot younger, so I
Yeah.
try not to tell people my age, but I don't give up. I don't give
Yeah, I
up.
would say you definitely don't look 45. I don't really look 33, but okay, enough of this. So, did you finish?
Yeah, pretty much. Just
Much.
teaching a bunch of
Brendan, you ready?
kids how to
Yeah.
shotgun.
All right. I don't drink very often at all. Just
Not since the ugly chick.
No, I really no. Well, I drank way since then, but I think it was like a year ago or so. I just decided to get fucked up at the Pear. I was at the Grizzly Pear, and Richie knows I don't drink, and everyone knows I'm just high energy and like shit.
I was about to say.
Richie, like,
You seemed drunk the last time I saw you in the pizzeria. You weren't drunk that day?
no.
When I saw
I'm
you in the
just high
pizzeria?
energy. I'm just high energy.
Damn.
That's the way I naturally am. And all of a sudden, Richie's like, "All right, do me a favor. I had like my favorite soda, key lime Stewart soda. Like, Richie, make a drink with this and try whatever you want." Like, all right. He's like, just took the vodka in there, just fucking.
That sounds like Rich.
Glasses, like, boom, it just served to me. I don't know how many shots is in there, and I had like 2 of those. So all of a sudden, running open mic, just doing it. My friend Richie also running open mic. My friend Rich, my friend Rich is a wrestler, and I'm a wrestler from Jersey. I got him to do his first open mic, and he's given a story about his son getting a $35,000 blowjob. And the reason why is a $35,000 blowjob because he got caught in school and he went to a private school, so he got kicked out of the school. So 35. That's like God said, it cost me $35,000. You know that, right? So and the whole time he's like never done an open mic, so he's like talking with his hands. He's going in and out of the mic. So anyway, but it was a good time, and I took a picture of him while I was there. You know.
Nice.
So I put it on Instagram and shit. So then we wind up going to Dangerfields. It was, and I'm drunk. And then I'm at Dangerfields. I had a couple more drinks. I had a shot at the bar because it was Dave Suarez's birthday. Boom, boom. So I'm zooted. And then I had the 2-drink minimum. I'm like, he wasn't going to put me on the show because the show was packed. So I'm like, all right, I'll hang out and support the show. So all of a sudden, my buddy Rich like, dude, I saw that picture. You put a dorky picture of myself on an open mic. I'm like, well, he had a big smile. I'm like, dude, take that picture down. I'm like, dude, I can't. It's on Instagram. I picked it. Take it down now. I'm like, dude, do you want to go outside and we'll go? We'll just go. Dude, you gonna fuck with me right here at the comedy? Like, all of a sudden, I got so pissed off. Like, he's giving me shit for putting a picture. Like, because he got all paranoid, thinking I'm trying to make him look bad. I'm like, dude, it was an open mic. Dude, it was cool. And I'm like, dude, fuck that. And then all of a sudden, guy on stage, a very senior comic by the name of Ryan Reese. You know Ryan Reese? All of a sudden, instead of getting into a fight, I start heckling Ryan Reese from the back of the room. And we're going at each other, but I'm never like usurp control. I'm like, permission to approach the bench. Permission denied. I sat right back down. And I just went after him like 3 or 4 times. My boy's like, what are you doing? Stop. What are you doing? And all of a sudden, then I stopped. After like 3 or 4 heckles, I just laid low. And all of a sudden, Quentin Heggs, past guy, 25 years into the business, I know him. He comes into the showroom, sits 2 tables down next to me, looks at me, and just looks up at the crowd. I'm like, I turn to my buddy like, dude, I'm dead. I'm so dead. Something you don't do. You don't heckle, as a comic, you don't heckle another comedian.
I've done that before.
You just don't do that.
You've heckled another comic before?
Yes, I did.
But I also he was also just, when he came in, he's introduced me. I'd known him before. He just totally just snubbed me because he's an arrogant, confident. Like,
Most comics are.
yeah.
That's why I burnt a lot of bridges. We'll talk about that in a minute.
So all of a sudden, so I just went after him. Also, he was like flirting with my friend Olga, but not like really paying attention to her. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? So, all this stuff was going on, and I'm drunk. I went after him. Wrong thing. And all of a sudden, I get the from the showroom, I get the light. So all of a sudden I come in the show, there's Ryan going, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? I'm like, Ryan, I'm sorry. I was totally out of line, 100%, and I was in the wrong, and I apologize. There's one mic, and you ain't got it. You fucking laced into me. Dude, what? You lost his shit. I'm like, Ryan, once again, sorry. I apologize. And I was 100% in the wrong. It's like, all right, just go sit down. So I sat down. And then the host's like, hey, what's your name? What's your name? Like, we talked to him. He's not going to have anything, so just kept the flow.
Is that when you stopped drinking, at least? Right there?
Yeah, I don't think I got drunk since that night.
Okay, because I feel like as a comedian, if you start to heckle, that's our rock bottom. Because we know how shitty heckling is. That we're like, oh, Jesus Christ, I just became like the scum of the earth that night,
Absolutely.
you know?
See, I never did it at a show, but I've heckled quite a few people at an open mic. Actually, one time I might have did it at a show. But I heckled a few people at an open mic. I'm not going to name the open micer, but it was this Jewish this Jewish comedian from Israel. He's a real asshole. So I ended up heckling one of his people. I'm like, first of all, if somebody's going to try to do crowd work on me, I'm a fucking professional. I will take you down. Do not do crowd work on me, especially if I don't like it. So if somebody does crowd work, if somebody's trying to interact with me, I'm going to interact right back. I'm not that type of person. See, I stopped doing it because I had a lot of people saying, hey, Pepino, you can't be doing that shit anymore. So I stopped doing it, but I was like, I tell you, if they're gonna talk about me, I'm gonna go right into them. So yeah, he got mad at me, and one time somebody called me Hitler, and this was an open mic comedy show. Like, it was an open mic, but it had a lot of guests in it. The bar was very into it.
Okay.
It was actually when I used to work at a gay bar. I left that place. The job was too anal. But I used to work at a gay bar, and I'm straight, by the way. But I used to work at a gay bar, and they did a comedy open mic, and one person started asking me questions, so I went back at them, and they ended up calling me Hitler. I think it was a chick.
Yeah.
So let me do a drunk story. What drunk story should I do?
Oh, I have a follow-up to my story, right? So
All right, go ahead.
A lot of people don't like me in the New York comedy scene. Ryan Reese has every reason to not like me. So all of a sudden, I'm going past the Comedy Cellar Underground, and I see Ryan Reese. Hey, Ryan Reese, how are you? Brendan Jones, I don't know if you remember me. And he just gave me a look like, and all of a sudden, like, hey, good to see you again. And all of a sudden, I shook hands with another guy. And I'm like, I'll take care. Good seeing you, Ryan. Walk away. And also, my friend's like, I think he just shook hands with Judd Apatow. It turned out it was Judd Apatow. I saw him at the Olive Tree. He's like, hey, you're a friend of Ryan Reese? How are you? I'm Brendan Jones. I do comedy and comedy brews. Like, what's your name? Judd. I go, I know who you are. You know what? I think I'm going to go. How to ruin your career in 5 seconds.
That's not true. I heard some Artie Lang done 1,000 things worse, but then he's Artie Lang.
Yeah, in fact,
That's the best thing about comedy. You could dig yourself a hole and get right out of it. And we all know those
you
comedians.
Gotta be funny. I'm not funny enough to dig myself a hole.
That's true. No, you're pretty funny. Yeah. You and that jokes about that 50-year-old had me cracking up.
Yeah.
So, oh God, I got so many drunk stories. I'm gonna do a recent one. 2 days before my birthday, it was actually my let me not mention it. 2 days before my birthday, I got drunk. I met this, actually this was on my birthday, never mind. On my birthday, or the day after my birthday, I was freeballing Commando, and I had suspenders on with jeans. So I'm getting drunk. I'm drunk, but I'm still coherent. But I end up, I lost my phone that day, which sucked. I ended up, that might have been another day. My whole birthday week was a fucking shambles. So I end up dropping something. I go down to pick it up, and one of my suspenders comes off, if not both of them, and half my ass is sewn. I said half, the bouncer said all my ass. He kicked me out. He knows me, so it's all good. But he had to kick me out, obviously. Yeah. No hard feelings. They know me. This wasn't the Pear. This is the place next to the Pear. So I go there, have a drink. They buy me a birthday drink, the bartenders. So I bend down and half my ass is sewn. So that was fun, and that was just 2 weeks ago. Ah, fun night, fun week, horrible week.
Were you drunk when you picked what you were wearing?
No.
No, that was a sober choice. Let me go suspenders.
I just ran out of. I was wearing a shirt above it.
Okay.
Yeah, like I didn't want the suspenders to show, but I couldn't find my belt. I didn't do laundry for like a month, so I only had a very scarce options to wear.
We all have.
Hence why I
don't own a pair of suspenders, so I've never been there.
Oh, I look beautiful in suspenders. I got suspenders on now, but now I did laundry. I got a nice, beautiful outfit, dress pants. I look good. Got the tie going.
Upgraded.
I got that mafia look. I got my fedora.
Ass is covered,
I should have put my fedora on, but.
You just need to clip the back. You didn't need a tie clip to clip the back of the tie to the thing, or just thread it through.
Yeah, I had it underneath my dress shirt, but oh well. So yeah, I mean, I was late. I was working 6 days a week. I was too fucking lazy to do laundry. So if I didn't have clean underwear, I just went commando. Commando and suspenders are not a good idea. Those suspenders go, you're fucked.
Yeah, that's it.
So.
Did you at least do the forward, backwards, inside out before you started going commando?
What do you mean? Oh, you mean the underwear?
You can wear your underwear forwards, backwards,
No, I don't do
inside out? No?
That I don't do.
Oh, come on.
Nah.
Don't look at me as if you guys haven't done it before.
I've done it with...
Oh, I've done it.
Exactly, come on.
I know.
Don't leave me alone on this couch, jeez.
But see, I reverse it and then go backwards.
Reverse,
I
yeah.
reverse and go backwards just because I don't want my ass crack touching my shit twice, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Get an STD that way.
Yeah, man. You don't
Yeah.
wear my glasses, but
No, I'd rather just go commando. I'll shower, you know. I'd rather just go commando. All right, enough of this disgusting conversation.
disgusting discussion.
I might have to edit that one out. All right, who's next? I believe that's
Me?
you, Jesse.
Yeah. Oh man.
How many drunk stories can you have at 20? 10?
I know, not enough, right?
Oh, you could, if you run out of drunk stories, or if you want to do a high story, that's fine.
A high story, okay.
All right, now we're getting.
Now we're getting some right. Jesse, you started up, and then BJ.
I remember the first time I ever like really smoked weed was actually with my sister.
Wow, that's interesting.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Older, younger?
Older sister. And here's the thing, she did it to save her own ass. Cause I got home early, and she was out back with some friends. They had a bong, and she was like, "You can't snitch on me if you're high too." So she forced me to smoke weed with her, which is sound stoner logic right there. You
That
can't
is.
snitch on me if you're high too. I was like, damn, only a high person can think of that, right?
Oh, yeah.
So she was like, "You're gonna smoke this," and your first time should never be a bong. That's like, start off right with like papers or something,
Yeah.
right? You don't want to go jump straight into the deep end, do a bong hit, you know. So I'm there, I do a bong hit, and they're like, "Pull, pull, pull," and I was like, I was pulling, and I remember I must have coughed for like 8 minutes straight. And I was just like dying.
Ooh, that must have felt good.
I thought honestly that I was dying that night, and I was like, I'm never smoking weed again.
Yeah, we all had that conversation with
And
ourselves.
then someone introduced me to papers, and I was like, oh, papers don't feel like they're killing you. This is nice. You can,
See,
you
at
can be
least-
high without like dying. That's awesome.
At least since you went the deep end the first time. Now when you
Yeah.
just do papers, you're just chill, you're
I'm
relaxed.
I'm killing it.
You're never gonna get that first high again, but you might not want that first high. That first high,
Nothing beats stoner logic and stoner contraptions.
Oh, man,
stoners
no
got
way.
weed. Like they'll take cut off a Pepsi bottle, make a water bottle,
Yeah.
put a potato, an apple. They'll just create like.
Well, back to the thing I was saying earlier with senior week, where we all go down to the beach. We packed our trunk in with like weed and alcohol, but like no paraphernalia. Because Maryland, that's how they got you, because they like decriminalized marijuana at this point.
Okay.
But paraphernalia charges were like huge. Like you could
Really?
it could be like $2,000 fines. At least when we were doing this. Like I don't know if shit's changed since then, but that's how they always got you. So then we got down there and we're like, let's just go get papers. And I realized like no one in the house knew how to roll, and we were like, all right, let's get creative. So we just started making bongs out of like all this stuff laying around.
well, all you need is a kind of like what you guys saying, shotgun beer.
Yeah.
You could do the
Do it
same
with a beer
logic,
can,
just
yeah.
a hole and one hole on the top of the can, and you use, where you drink from the can, you use that to suck off on.
Yeah.
You put the weed on the hole on the top of the can, and you just light it up. And then the weed goes through the can, and then you suck it that way.
Like one of my bits is I talk about the emotions of men. Men don't have emotions, but we have feelings. It's the seven, kind of like the dwarves: bashful, sneezy, sleepy, grumpy, happy, dopey, doc. We have horny, hungry, angry, lazy, shitty, drunk, and stoned.
Yes.
It's the seven feelings we have. Yeah. So stoned. The first time I got stoned, I stayed away from it, even though I was in high school. I've been around it, but I never got stoned until I went to college. And I just got baked and just did a shotgun and stuff like that, and on with a blunt. And I started painting on one of those sorority rocks. And all of a sudden, I went to my college. It's my painting is still there from like 20. 15. Well, I don't want to say I don't want to give my age away.
Well, you already did,
You
so it
already
doesn't
gave
matter.
the age away, right?
You already
Didn't we
said
do
you were
age?
45, so
Let's see.
20 years from now.
So
I'll
20, so 22 years ago. 22 years ago, it's still there.
That's not too long ago. Well, not for me and you. For
Well,
him,
22 years
for
ago.
him, he was negative too.
It was negative.
He wasn't even a sperm.
Yep, he was a zygote. That's right.
I was deep in my dad's nutsack at that point.
I don't think so. How long does cum? I should look that up. I'm pretty sure cum doesn't say that long in the nuts. I should look that up, though.
Yeah.
You're
They
just,
gotta recycle-
you might still be a
recycle that.
plant protein at that point.
It's either, it's either you're jerking it out or nocturnal emissions, taking care of that on a monthly basis.
Yeah, 2 years before you're born, you got 9 months for gestation. So a year
I can't
before.
believe we're doing this kind of math.
Yeah, why?
9 months for gestation.
Yeah, geez.
Yeah.
How
They're
A year before that, yeah.
We're trying to
nuts.
figure out if I was in my dad's nutsack when you made that painting or
How
not.
many bulls? How many
That
bulls
is where
before
this
did
show
that?
has gone.
So when he
That is
did
where
that,
the show
you
is
were,
at.
you were a protein particle in some piece of steak or.
I love math jokes. I just don't want to think about this.
Yeah, I know, right? But you know what's the craziest thing is, like, I don't smoke or drink anymore.
Neither do I. Yeah.
I
You
don't.
got tired of it? The age of fucking 20?
Yeah, it's
All right, now
crazy.
now you gotta get the fuck out of here. Like,
It's crazy though, cause like, it was like.
actually, I was the same way. I first drank at 19, had a horrible experience. I smoked all through high school, and then once I had to look for a job, you couldn't have weed in your system looking for a job.
Yeah.
So I gave up weed, and then I didn't look back until 10 years later. But I forgot what I was gonna fucking say. What was I talking about?
They talk about 19, giving up weed or just starting weed.
Oh, okay. So I gave up, so I drank alcohol, gave up alcohol for like, until I was 22. So I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, cause I'm like.
You'll be back into it 21, 22.
Yeah, maybe. It was just like, I don't know, cause doing comedy, it's just all around you.
It is.
And
It
every
is.
single night because I live deep in Queens, so I was like, let me deal with the commute home, So I'd get
where in
fucked up,
Queens?
and then Bayside, deep in Bayside, Queens.
Oh, that's not too bad. I thought you were going to say Jamaica. And I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
I gotta take this.
If you're in Jamaica, then
I gotta take
Baltimore,
the.
or people like me who don't know Baltimore call it the wire area. Jamaica, Queens won't be too much for you.
Yeah, but I gotta take the 7 last stop and then take a bus about 40 stops deep.
That's
So I'm
true.
pretty- I'm
Bayside,
pretty
it's not
far
that
in,
far,
yeah.
but there's no transportation in
There's
Bayside.
there's
but it's
no
not that far, really.
transportation. 7 all the way to Flushing,
Then-
bus about 40 stops deep, and yeah. So I was like, let me just deal with this commute now. So I'd get like fucked up every night after a show, but before my commute home. And I was like, I can't be like not 21 yet and have a drinking problem. Like that's bad, So like,
No, I mean, that's how it happens.
yeah. So I quit smoking weed. I quit alcohol. And the funniest thing is like, I don't miss like being drunk or being high. What I do miss is like being able to blame my stupidity on something. Because
makes
now my
sense.
friends were like, oh, we just thought you were a stoner. Now we're realizing, oh, you're just stupid. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's one of the things. I've done a lot of crazy shit.
Oh,
and I
being
don't-
from Baltimore doesn't help.
Yeah, I
I
know.
mean, I've done a lot of crazy shit, and I'm just certifiable crazy. It's not I'm drunk
Yeah.
or stoned. I'm like, no, Jonesy's just crazy. He's just not right in the head. He's just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Yep. But I actually just got into accounting again, so I have to like separate my comedy world from my
How you do that? I'm horrible at that.
accounting.
Yeah. Well, I'm decent at accounting. No, separating
Separating.
comedy from work. Trying to do both. I can't do both.
You kind of have that separate mindset. You just like, this is my day job, this is my night job. It's like everybody has a different mask that they put on. Even though you
Well, at least yours is day and night. I'm a waiter. Just sit, don't pay, by the way.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm a waiter. And I work night times. So I work night times and I do comedy night times. So I'm fucked.
yeah. But I think everybody has those certain masks that they put on. Everybody has. Now, the masks are a part of our identity, but it's not the whole of us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people see the crazy comedy side and people see the accounting side. I'm very mild-mannered. I was actually talking to a comedian last night. It's like, I see you post a lot of crazy shit and done a lot of crazy shit, but when I'm with you, you're kind of mellow. It's like, yeah.
Different time.
Yeah, but when people see my crazy posts on Facebook or crazy posts, like everyone's like, oh, he's out of his mind. But no.
That makes sense. I'm a proud alcoholic, and I don't care who knows it or who cares. But I'm a functional alcoholic. Like when I drink, I drink. When I work, I make sure I'm one of the best workers out there. I should not drink when I do comedy. They go together, but they don't go together.
No, they don't.
The best times when if I had 3 drinks. I had to have between 3 to 5 drinks to be mellow. I'm such an alcoholic. I could have 10 drinks and nothing. But once I hit that 11th or that 15th, it only takes 1 or 2 drinks for me to go overboard.
Yeah,
I'm that person. I don't slowly. It's not a. It's not a. I don't even know. I'm an alcoholic. Let's just leave it at that.
I can't perform fucked up. I don't know about you guys. I can't, like...
I can. It's not good, but I can.
I've never done it. I've never performed fucked up.
Yeah, I refuse
You heckled
to.
fucked up.
I heckled when I was fucked up. But
Your story from before, but you never
performed. I've
performed fucked
when I
up.
was fucked up. But I imagine, I know a lot of comedians that they have to have a couple shots before they get up there.
Oh, yeah, it helps.
Oh,
Calm
yeah,
the nerves.
calms the nerves.
I need at least 1 or 3 drinks. It could be a beer, it could be a shot.
Some people just need
And I like to have at least a beer in my hand while I'm on stage
it is kind of nerve-wracking.
for my
It is
personality.
kind of nerve-wracking. There is a fear element attached to stand-up comedy. The one thing is that, I mean, I'm actually a pretty spiritual, principled person. So the 4 spiritual laws, according to the Toltec Spirit Guide, are be impeccable with your word. Don't use your word to inflict harm. Well, being a comedian, my intention is to not cause harm, but I may have indirectly will cause harm. So that's one. Don't make assumptions. That's the second rule. Just don't make assumptions. Ask the question. I assume, hopefully, the people in the audience will know my references. So I'm making an assumption. 3, what other people think about you is none of your concern.
I agree to that one. I agree with all of them, but that one especially.
What other people think of you is none of your concern. But as a part of a comedian, I want people to think I'm funny. I care about what they think. So that goes against the spirit too. And the fourth law is most important. Just do your best. Now your best may be 60%. Your best may be 100%. Your best may be 20%. But it's your best based on how you're feeling, based on your mental acuity, based on everything. So those are the 4 laws, or they're called the 4 agreements.
Interesting. I never heard that one.
Yeah, I've never heard those.
That's
But
right.
like, I've never...
Every one of those goes against comedy.
Yeah, all of them really do.
Comedy breaks every rule in the book.
But
Remember that.
The thing you were saying though, like about people like taking a drink before going on stage, I've never dealt with like nerves about getting on stage. But once
No, I
I'm
agree with
on
that.
stage, I get nervous if there's silence.
I used to. There's times where
And it's not
Throw a
even.
punch and just
It's not even if the audience is silent. It's like if I'm silent and they're silent. Like,
yeah.
like if I'm talking and I'm setting something up, I'm like, okay, there's at least something going on here. But like, if I throw a punch and there's nothing, and it like, let's say I go in for like a swig of water or something, that swig of water is killing me.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I'm like, oh my God, they're just listening to me swallow water right now. This is nerve-wracking.
I mean, and that's what like Ron White uses as a break.
yeah, he drinks water because he's smoking a cigar and drinking water at the same time.
Like after his punchline.
But that's not water, by the way.
Oh yeah, he takes a drink and he's smoking a cigarette during the punchline while they're laughing.
I do the same thing. Another thing, a lot of comics told me they tell me don't do this, where I go, fuck you. I had a lot of guests say, I love how you do this, and I had comedians say, don't do that. And one of the thing I'm talking about is, I will wait till people are done laughing. Brendan never had that problem.
Oh.
I would wait, if I do a good joke, I would wait till you're done laughing, because I want you to enjoy and savor what I have to offer to you. I'm not that comedian. I am there for the attention. But no, actually, most comedians just do it for the attention. I'm not really in it for the attention. I'm in it to make people laugh. And I'm an energy comic.
Yeah, I really want to know what comic says that, because I get just the opposite. If you tell a punchline and they're still laughing and you go, what happens is they're going to stop. They're going to stop laughing. And that's called stepping on a laugh. That's called stepping on a laugh.
there's a
That's
term
what
of
you
it.
shouldn't do. That's a term called stepping on a laugh. And you
There's
should
a
step on a laugh.
yeah.
I've
you
had
don't
situations where the laugh went on for like 20, 30 seconds. And once the laugh starts dwindling, then I'll start. But if
Yeah.
the laugh is still going upwards,
Yeah.
I'm not going to step on the laugh.
That's what I was about to say.
It might have been a person who said it. It might have been a guest. But that's why comedy is so objective. Like,
Very subjective.
one advice, I think I do this in every episode, and if I haven't, I'm going to start. This is good for you. You've been doing this for 2 years now. You don't have to make everybody laugh. And especially nowadays with YouTube and social media. All you need is 1,000, 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 fans, and you're good. You're going to make a living out of this.
Yeah.
All you need is likes and subscribers.
All you need is 100,000 people.
You could get away with 1,000, even 500, depending if they spend money. It's better to have 500 fans that spend money, deal with advertisements. Nowadays, it's all about advertisements. You get paid off the advertisements. Maybe not you directly, but if you're on YouTube, you don't get paid on the likes and the subscribers. You get paid on those likes and subscribers who click on the advertisement.
Yes. Yeah, the game is bad.
It's a whole different game now.
Yeah.
And you're all businessmen now.
All of a sudden, I thought well, actually, when we were off camera, Jesse and I were talking about how podcasts and radio shows have talked about like how we do comedy and how we want to make content that we don't talk about the comedy world. But I do love this show, how we're just talking about drunk stories and high stories and stuff like that. Just acting like complete assholes.
Yes.
And the funny thing is about comedy.
And we're comedians. We're all assholes. If you meet a nice comedian, I mean, you can be nice sometimes. I'm nice at work. I'm nice in certain situations. But overall, I'm half asshole, half nice person.
Well, that's the thing.
You got to have an asshole in you.
Comedians are all assholes, and it's very obvious because we go up on stage and display our assholeness.
Yes.
But everyone's an asshole.
Not everyone. And I mean, yes,
Everyone's
at times.
an
But I
asshole,
mean,
yeah.
in general, you're either mostly nice or mostly an asshole. You can be
But
in the
even if
middle.
you're mostly nice, you still got asshole in you.
Yes.
Everybody-
But I mean, okay, we're not. We're
Yeah.
getting.
Yeah.
I'm arguing with a 20-year-old. This is not like.
I definitely have that assholeness, and I can be full-out blown asshole. But I also can be full-blown niceness.
Yes.
So when someone in the comedy world takes advantage of my full-blown niceness, I become full-blown asshole.
Yes.
Like we were talking before. But let me tell you about how I am nice. I mean, I do something not a lot of comedians do. I do what's called listening. And I'll explain what that means. I go onto a website called 7cupsoftea.com. 7 Cups of Tea is a free resource to get help in therapy.
I'm sorry. That's not like 2 girls, 1 cup, is it?
No, it's not like
Okay,
2 girls,
keep
1
keep
cup.
going.
No, so 7 Cups of Tea is a free resource for people to help in therapy. So I actually am one of those listeners on the other side when people can just talk to someone and just unload to someone. I talked to a bunch of comics like, dude, I can never do that.
You should send me that link. That's something I might want to do.
Yeah, but it's something cool, and I've been doing it for like 3 or 4 years now, and I've gotten like so many people that I've helped over the world, and all of a sudden like people are like, wow, you're really helpful. You really gave me some advice. Like even after the fact, I've gotten 100 people that have just made comments on just listening. Sometimes just listening is enough.
It is.
And
It makes you a better person.
No one ever learned anything from talking except how much of an asshole or clown they can be. We only really learn by listening. So when I'm at an open mic, I listen. When I'm over there, I listen. And that's really how I learn.
You should. Oh, I hate when open micers just come in, do their bit, and then leave and don't even introduce themselves. But I got something to say about doing something good when you're a comedian. Being a comedian, I don't know if you're at this level yet, but you will be. Maybe you are. You know this level, obviously. Being a comedian makes you a very jaded person. Like when you're in comedy for so long, all you hear is negativity. You're dealing with people trying to step on you. So to fight that jadedness, I ended up, I found this organization that you could help little kids in school learn how to read at different levels. It's called, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's called Reading Partners. And I was in Spanish Harlem in Roberto Clemente school. And I was teaching little kids how to read. One, I got a lot of jokes out of it, so that was fun. I haven't done it in a while because shit's been too crazy lately. And 2, by me helping them, it made me feel good because comedians are all such assholes. At least you only get to see the assholes in them. Two, I did that because if they learn how to read and become better people, they have a lesser chance to rob me when they're an adult. That's an old Chris Rock joke, by the way, but one of my favorite jokes. Not only it's a joke, it's something to live by. Be nice to little kids, treat them good, educate them, because if you don't, they will kill and rob you when you get older.
Absolutely.
Could look up that joke by Chris Rock. It's beautiful. He talks about this girl who leaves the kid. Well, just look up the joke. It's a great joke. To all my fans out there, my 40 subscribers on YouTube, and look up that Chris Rock joke. It's beautiful. All right, we're going to do this for, what time is it, 5? Okay. We're going to do this for 4 more minutes.
Okay.
And then, yeah, let's do this for 4 more minutes. Anybody who got something to say? One more drunk, one more high story?
All right, quick drunk story. All right, I'm young. This is one of the first time I started drinking. I am 14 years old, right? And all of a sudden, I'm drinking like rum and coke, just getting bombed. And it always happens on New Year's Eve. All my bad stories happen on New Year's Eve. So all of a sudden, I just get rocked. I come home with my friend Willie DeGant. He used that one friend that kind of like brought me to the dark side. I mean, my family's Catholic. My dad taught at a Catholic high school. I mean, he brought me to the dark side. So all of a sudden, I go in my friend's like basement bathroom, and I see Rob Cooper hunched on the toilet taking a shit, and he's puking into a bucket. And all of a sudden, I just smell the puke, and just bleh. So all of a sudden, I just
I'm that person.
I puked on him. He's puking on me. We missed the bucket.
Sexy.
So all of a sudden, Rob Cooper is like.
Sorry to interrupt you. You can look it up on YouTube. 2 men, 1 bucket. Okay. All right, go ahead.
So Rob, I was like a little shit in high school. I mean, I'm like 5'6", 5'5" now. When I was in high school, I was like 5'2". So Rob,
I'm 5 foot, by the way, so watch out there.
Rob is like
6'5".
Rob
So
was like 6'8" as a freshman. He played football for Rutgers. He was an offensive lineman. Rob was a big dude. And all of a sudden...
So he's now a Port Authority police cop.
They had to strip both of us naked. And all of a sudden, take all our clothes off to wash them because they're covered in puke. And all of a sudden, I wake up the next morning on the sofa bed that I pulled out. I go, hey, Rob. Hey, Brandon. We look, we're fucking naked. Like, no one has to know about this. Nah. But he always called me, hey, my drinking buddy. And it was just a big joke. But I woke up naked to like the biggest guy in the class, one of the biggest guys in the school. It was just hysterical.
Damn. Okay, but I think we're not gonna. Okay, 6'5", really?
yeah, 6'5".
Why the fuck you doing comedy?
I like
You
it.
don't know how to bowl?
I
I'm 5 foot tall. I'm 3 inches shorter than Muggsy Bogues, who's the shortest basketball player to ever live and dominated, by the way. If I was your height, I'll be fucking killing people. God damn, you don't play basketball, I guess?
Nah,
I'm sure you get that all the time. Why don't you play basketball?
I think being tall is like very overrated. I think it's very overrated because I had a short friend and he's like, bro, if I was 6'5", I'd be getting all the girls. And I was
Well, that's
like,
just insecurity.
And I
I'm
was
5
like-
foot tall. I'm not. I'm doing okay.
I was like, I don't think tall is like the only thing they're looking for, you
Nah.
know? Like, because he's like, look at all the NBA players. They get so many girls.
That's because they got
and I was
money.
like, they got so much money.
Yeah.
They got money. They got fame. They got all these things. They got a mansion, a car.
All right. Your
They got all
friend,
these things. And they're tall, okay? Like, I'm just,
your friend's obviously insecure and not getting any, but that sucks.
yeah.
So, okay, enough of that. All right, so we're going to end with these 2 lovely comics plugging their shows, their Twitter, their Facebook, and whatever. So, Brendan, we'll start with you.
You can find me at Jonesy Comedy. That's Jones with a Y. Y because I'm funny. JONESY Comedy. Jonesy Comedy at Instagram, at Twitter, at Snapchat. Email me, jonesycomedy@gmail. Yeah, and shows coming up. I don't have a lot of shows coming up. I'm trying to keep a low profile. Working on my writing, working on my craft.
All right. You can follow me on Instagram at Jesse Townsend with an underscore at the end. And for shows coming up, I perform every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at Greenwich Village Comedy Club.
And you motherfuckers know where you could find me on the lovely M&N channel. And you could also find me on Facebook and YouTube, which I'm gonna put it on the lower thirds right over here. All right, well, that's our show, the Pepino Clemenza Comedy Show. Check us out next time. All right, peace, motherfuckers.
Peace out.